Hi everyone, my name's Zach. Welcome back to the Ranger shop. So in this episode we're going to talk about replacing our rear glass. So whether you got a reseal because of a water leak, or maybe you just broke a glass, a window, maybe your slider's leaking. There's lots of different reasons why you might want to replace this window. So we're going to talk about how we're going to do that. So for me, I'm replacing this window because I want a single window without a slider in it. I also just want one with, because my slider's leaking. I got a little bit of water coming through the corner here and it's running down inside. So I'm going to replace this. And also I've always got my cap on the back here. So I've got this, with this tint, it's so dark. Then you go through the cap tint, I can barely see out the back. So I want to just kind of see what's going on in the back. So taking this out, I'm going to put a clear one-piece rear window in, and I'll show you how to do it. We're going to try and wrap this video up in just like 5 minutes. So follow along. So step one, if you're trying to find a water leak, the best way to do is just to park this on a slant and run a hose on top. You run a hose all the way around your window, up around the light here, all around, just to see where the water's coming through inside. So for me, I've already taken this light out. I don't know if you can see this here. This is that butyl tape. It's the same stuff that holds our window in. And I just put a bead all the way around my light where that gasket is. So that's all sealed up. I know I ran water on it and I've got no leaks coming through here anyway. So I'll just show you inside now. So let's just talk about removing this rear window. So the easiest way to do it is just to take off, see there's, well, you'll probably have to take out your seats if you don't have them out already. I've got mine out because it gives me more room back here. But, so take your seats out, and then there's a pillar right here in the corner. Right here, it's held in with a few of these push pins right up there. And there's this piece of trim right here in the center. So this piece of trim can just pop out. Take that trim out. Then you pull the pillar out, that drops. Now the headliner's loose, and it's just kind of a little bit loose there. There's a hook at the back too, just take that hook out. And then once that's out, you can slide your gear wrench up in behind here. It's 10 mil, the bolts up here, and just take it out. You don't have to drop or remove your headliner if you don't want to. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to pull out this corner piece, take out this piece of plastic here, so you can see all of this area, and then just lower this headliner so I can get my gear wrench in there. Here's a quick little tip for you. Just if you're trying to get out any of these plugs, they can be a little bit difficult. You can get a trim tool that'll take them out, but even that, sometimes it'll fold off the end. I just used a curved bent of pliers and just slide them underneath here. You can grab hold of it and then just pry the thing out. Okay, here we go. So the plastic's out. Now you can see the bolts. These are the bolts that hold the rear window in. These are 3/8 of an inch. So I've got my little 3/8 of an inch gear wrench. Up top, I'm just going to slide it in behind. See, I'm just going to slide it in behind the headliner and then take these bolts out. So I'm going to just take all these bolts out, and then we're just going to get a small pry bar and very gently pry it all the way around, pry this back window out of here. So there we go. Windows out. I'm just going to clean up that butyl already started. It just pulls off pretty easily. And then I've got this window here to go in. Just again, going to pull off the butyl that's on here. And then just clean it up with some mineral spirits just to get the goo that's off the window here, that's on the window. So once I get this all cleaned up, I'll cut back and I'll show you how I'm going to lay on the new butyl tape. This is something just a little bit interesting that I didn't know. So in the 2002, you can see there's one screw there, one there, just 3. But in this newer one, I think this is out of 2010, it's got 5 along the top, 5 screws. So I just had to drill an extra hole. Everything else lines up, just that one and that one I added. Okay, so we got our window here all nice and cleaned up. The channel's all clean. This is the stuff that I'm using. This is the butyl tape. There's the part number. 5/16, 15 feet of it. That should be enough. I think the window's a bit over 4.5 feet long. So I've got this all laid out here. I'm going to run a strip right in here. I've had this sitting on my heater for the last couple hours, so it's very soft right now. I can feel it soft. So that'll help to put it on without it breaking, and then I'll be able to stick it on there, and it'll compress properly as long as it's warm. If you put this in the cold, you got to really warm it up with the heat gun. Otherwise, it won't compress enough to get that. This piece of weather strip here won't be tight to the cab. It'll be held off. So let's stick that in there. I'll get you set up with a little bit of a time lapse. We'll lay out our ribbon along here and then stick it in the truck. Here's our butyl tape on here. You just saw me in the time lapse put it on. One thing I failed to mention is the seams at the bottom, so where you're meeting the two. Other than that, it's one piece all the way around, and that's it. It's nice and warm still. I'm going to put it in while it's still warm, and it'll compress well. Hey, here's our finished product. So the window's in nice and tight. You can see there's no gap in the trim, and I've run water over top of it, no leaks coming in, so that's good now, and that'll work out well with my cap here. I'll be able to see through the back window now. Good. And now it's snowing. It's almost time to go camping.